ex-partners, bad choices in the past, bad mistakes made, things that went unnoticed that are now being noticed. These are things that can cause resistance in your relationship because things from the past are now coming forward into the future in your current relationship, either your past or in their past. And in today's video, we are going to be discussing how you can be happy in the present when the past comes to bite you. So this came from a friend and a viewer asking this question: how do we deal with something that's come up in a relationship that was something that happened in the past with my partner, and now it's affecting both of our lives, and not just our lives, but the lives of our children? It's a very, very challenging thing, and it's very individual. So if you find yourself in this situation, I'm Jodi, I'm a transformational life coach, and I would love to talk to you about your particular situation because I'm going to answer this very vaguely. If you need help with this, I will be more than happy to set up a free call with you, and we can discuss your particular problem. But I want to use the example of Orange is the New Black, the movie. And what happened in that is we had a young girl when she was in her 19 or 20, maybe she was 18, she was very young, and she was a drug mule. And it was a time in her life where she was just carefree and didn't care and didn't really worry about it or anything. She didn't get caught then. But years go by. I don't know exactly the number. I'm not that familiar with the show. I just know the premise of it. And this particular girl ends up having to go to jail because some drug lord or some drug person had to go in and write down all the names of anyone that ever helped them. So her and her ex-partner, girlfriend, now are both having to go to jail for however many years. I think it was for 5. And she is a successful writer. She's very successful in her career. She's engaged to be married to someone else, and now suddenly she has to go back to jail. If you find yourself in a situation where you are in a relationship and everything's going along smoothly, but then the past of another person comes to bite you, how do you handle that? And the way that I think the best way to handle it is in this order. 1 is have empathy for the person that's going through the trauma, and don't make it worse, no matter how it affects your life. No matter how mad that you make it that this has happened, this is generally something that happened way before you were in the picture. Just like Orange is the New Black, this happened way before she knew her fiance. She didn't know that this was going to come back and bite her, but it did. If he were to make her feel like a horrible person for that, that is only going to make everything worse. Have empathy for where the person was when this happened, and don't judge them based on who they are now. Who she was when she was 18, 19, or 20 is totally different than who she is now in her 30s. I think she was late 20s, early 30s, I don't know. But so much time, a whole decade has passed. She's not that person anymore. So you're not going to say, how could you have ever done that? Because this person now is not the person that it was that long ago. Now, whatever your situation is, maybe this is something that has happened, say, 4 months ago, and you've just gotten into a relationship with this person. It doesn't matter what it is. Don't guilt that person. You weren't in their mind at the time. You didn't make their decisions. You weren't dealing with all of the factors that they were dealing with. Have respect that this is what they had to go through at the time, and they just did it. It was a mistake. Mistakes happen. You've made mistakes too. Everybody in their life has. Remember that. Have empathy and compassion for it. Second of all, are there any truths that were lied about? Did the partner that you're with lie to you that these things weren't coming into play, that this wasn't ever going to be a problem, whatever it is. That wasn't the case in Orange is the New Black. She told him, she was honest about it, whatever. But maybe your partner has said, no, I promise that this is okay because, and they lied. And they lied and they lied and lied. Why did they lie? Is it because you're not a good receiver of truth, or because the people in their past isn't a good receiver of truth? Or is it just because they didn't want you to know because they were so ashamed? Whatever the truth is to that situation, I want you to look at it and not take it personally. Why did they lie to you? It's not your fault that you were lied to, but why? What is the reason behind it? Look at why it happened and then deal with that accordingly with communication. Understand this can't ever happen again because I need to know, I'm in a need to know situation. You and I are in a relationship now. I need to know these things. If you can't agree and allow trust to be rebuilt, sometimes trust is earned. Trust isn't something you should just give someone randomly. Trust should be something that is respected, earned, and gained in a relationship. So if you have to re-earn trust, if that person has to re-earn trust with you, allow that to happen and don't keep throwing it in the face, all the things that they've done wrong. Well, you did this, you did this, you did this. Allow them to move forward in proof that they are trustworthy. Be a good receiver of truth. This is the most important thing that you can do. And the only way that you're a good receiver of truth is not assuming that they're going to continue to lie to you and not assuming any of that. And keep it open. Ask. Okay, I'm going to ask you this one time, and I just want to know, are you telling me the truth? Is there anything that I don't know right now that I need to know? And allow them to be open. And if they tell you something that's a bomb dropped on you, don't lose it. Try to be patient and don't explode, okay? It's unfair for someone to be open and honest with you and then you explode on them. Be patient and kind. Whatever debts that they've incurred because of this problem, whatever time they need to serve, whatever rights that they need to make wrong, that is their problem. You can be there to support them, but they need to handle this completely on their own. You don't need to give them the money, to tell them what to do, to write down everything. Give them the responsibility to make this right. That is how they will be able to feel better in owning the success beyond it. And your job at that point is to say, I'm here to guide you and help you however you need, but this is your responsibility. This is your financial responsibility. This is your way of getting through this. You made a big mistake, and I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry that you had to go through that, but now it's time for you to move forward and do this without it affecting me anymore. That's very difficult to do. It really is. It really is to say when you're, especially if you're a person that likes to control or that you know the path that can help them get there and you want to help them get them sooner. It's just like your children when you're teaching them maybe to tie their shoes or to ride their bike. You show them how to do it. You show them 100 times. This is how you do it. But eventually they just got to learn on their own. And that is no different when we get to be adults. They just have to learn on their own. Be moving forward and not focused on the past anymore. You are in the present moment with the person. The past happened. Yes, it's affecting your present moment. No longer let it affect your future. Whatever it is that they have to go through. If they have to serve 5 years in jail, unfortunately, or whatever. And maybe you make the decision, look, I can't do this. I don't want to wait 5 years for you. Be honest with yourself. Always put your life vest on first, because you can only love and help and any of that from a place of overflow. Therefore, if you're not filled up, you can't help that person at all. Put yourself first in a loving way. I lovingly am filling myself up so that I can help you deal with this more. I need some time alone. I need to think about it. I need to do whatever, but I'm not mad at you. I just have to decide for myself what's going to work, and allow yourself the space. Allow that person the space that they need. in order to deal with what they're dealing with, because the amount of guilt and shame and failure feeling that they're feeling is more than any anger, hurt, or resentment that you have. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. Because somebody that loves you never wants to disappoint you. And remember that. When you love unconditionally, it's from a place of overflow. Allow yourself to love yourself enough that it overflows out into the other person. No judgment, no shame, none of that. And that is how you get through it. And if you need any more support, please feel free to contact me. My contact information is below. I love you guys. I hope you're having a beautiful holiday season, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is you celebrate, nothing at all, that's great. I hope you guys are doing wonderful. Please feel free to contact me and have a great, great week. Bye.